Hello, I'm doing another tutorial on Nexus's lantern. I'm going to show you how to UV map this beast of a model. Uh, nice model, nice and smooth, lots of polys, so this should test your UV mapping skills and mine. So make sure you've got the editable poly and maybe see what elements it's made up of. So it's made up of this handle and the rest of it, I guess. So we'll choose the handle. So I've got element, I've chose the handle. I'm going to do a unwrap on that part. So if I edit that, I've already thrown it aside, but basically what you would do is choose this face subject mode, and select element, and just select everything that comes up, because they're all the bits, all the faces related to just that element. That's why only the parts for that element come up. So if you select all those and do normal mapping and do box mapping, that's not box, no top mapping, but box mapping, and do OK, and that will do something with it. Now with them still red, do pack UVs and check these two as well, rotate clusters and fill holes. Just leave everything else the same, and it kind of tidies them up a bit, not too much, but you can deal with that bit a little bit later if you want, or we can deal with it now, but we'll deal with it later, so I'll put it aside just now, and I'll right click on this unwrap modifier. So unwrap UVW, the modifier, just right click on that name and do collapse to, and that will burn that change into the model. So the UVs for the handle are put aside. They'll still show a texture, but they're just put aside. So now I want to select the rest of it. So you can see this handle is not selected anymore. Don't want to select that anymore anyway. So with this element selected, you can see it's pretty cylindrical looking. So I'll choose the UVW map modifier, and I'll choose cylindrical, and I'll choose cap as well, and that should that looks good actually. You can click fit and it will fit to the the base point there, because it's the most outward part. And when you've done that, just right click on UVW mapping and do collapse to, and that bakes that into this part. But we want to see what it looks like in the UVW map editor. Plus we need to give the handle some space back as well, because it might take up the full UV board. So if I do unwrap UVW, this is me just on the object level now. I'm not in any element. I want the full object, so I'm just on the editable poly part. Don't select any of these and do it, otherwise you'll get other bits singled out. That's why some people think bits are missing, because they're maybe still in vertex mode and they've got so many selected, and then they try and do like an unwrap and only so many parts show up or something, but I'll just undo that. So you really want to be on editable poly, and you want to do unwrap UVW and edit that. Now it's all a bit crazy at the minute, like there's your bit at the side there that we baked in, so keep that there. Choose select element, choose face sub-object mode, and just grab everything apart from the handle part that we put aside. And let's just go to pack UVs first. And what it's done is just tidied it up, because they were all overlapping there. And we can click on parts and we can see what parts they are in the mesh. So you can see that's nicely all this upper half. So I'll just put that aside because it's pretty well processed. Apart from that little poly's jumped over there, instead it should be over there. To deal with that, just come off a select element, choose that one guy, choose detach edge verts, and now you can move them. You can move them there. And what I like to do is get them kind of in place where it's meant to go. then choose the vertex mode, and then I do Control T, which switches into weld mode, and I'll just basically choose the vert there, and you'll see that one lights up because it's its brother. It's the same vert on the model, it's just the UVs have split them apart. So just weld them until the little crosshair turns white. You see it's kind of black and it says W, that means you're in weld mode, and then you go over the dot that's, you can actually go over any dot, so just watch that you don't weld it wrongly. It's got to be the one that lights up, because that's its brother. Well, it's actually the same vert on the model, that's what I'm saying, it's the same vert, it's just been UV'd with different values. So I'm going to connect that there, and I can see this one needs done as well because I've got two green lines. It's got to be orange or whatever colour you've maybe changed to, and I think I've still to do this one. No, I've done that one. Okay, so I've just tidied that up. Now you see these two green lines here and all the way down there, and there's stuff not connected, so just move about till you see what's going on, because sometimes a couple of verts end up in the same place, like you see that. That's why that green line's there, because that's there, and I just like to keep them all welded. I don't like to see green lines in like that because it tends to confuse me a little bit, and I like everything quite tidy. So I'll just move away and move back, and you see that goes orange. So move away, move back. Oh, to go close enough. Just be careful that there's no other verts in the way and you connect to the wrong one. You will notice it. If you don't, then you're going to have trouble. So it's good to be precise. And the UV editor is really quite fiddly. So I'm just connecting these because they're not welded. Somehow that UV mapping process didn't weld these because they're at the edge. So I'm just doing that, and that's fine, so I'll just undo that. Right, so that bit's done. You see it's a little bit skewed there as well. I can do Control T again and come out of welding, and I'll choose these. I'll choose this move tool so it only moves left and right, so only go left and right, can't go up and down, and I'll just get it so these lines are straight. So I've just made a little tweak there. Yeah, doesn't look too bad. Okay, I'll be right back shortly. Okay, I'm back to this now. Sorry, I had a phone call there. Okay, right, so I've moved this part aside after fixing it. I got into element mode and face mode there, and I can choose this full part. Move it about. Oh, put this back to normal. And I've put it aside just now, and I'll bring this down to half so I can see the rest of it. Now I reckon all these rings are these parts, yeah. So let's see. I think they're kind of top and bottom bits, yeah. Otherwise they would have mapped differently. So they're all the kind of top and bottom parts, and I don't really need to do much with them. This part is that part, this part is that part there, oh, and that part is the base. So you can see that things happen again. It's taken some of them and thrown them aside there. So I'll just come out of select element and just choose these faces, do detach edge verts, move them over there. And then choose the sub-object, the vertex, choose that one. You should see the adjacent one line up. So I'm just going to undo, I'm just going to select that whole element again and move it into place a bit better. I could try weld selected, but it never always works. I could try selecting the edges and do it, but I always prefer just to do Control T, take the element off, and do that. move it away, move it back. Oops, just these ones. Doesn't really matter what one you select here, it's not going to disturb the line too much because I've lined them up already. You can see if they're green, they're not welded, or they're edged, put it that way. They're an open edge, like that, it's an open edge. When you choose that one lights up because they're the same vert on the model. So you connect them up, and that back in there. And that one's obviously needing done as well. So we have select element, choose that bit, move that side. So we're basically saying we're happy with it, it's done, put it aside. That one, that's the base, I think. Yep, that's the base. I'll just give me some more view here. Right, a good thing to do is, I'll just close that just now, is to right click down here and do layout and choose like this one, something with the panel here. Oh, that again. Yeah, okay. And then when I come out of that, that's it now. Now this is perspective, and also moving highlights, edge faces. And I'll bring back the editor. And this way I can rotate the model, and it's not in the middle of the screen in the way of this, so it's a bit better for looking at stuff. So these rings, they're all kind of they're all here, and I take it all these parts will be intermediate bits there as well, and some of the face parts. You see when I choose this part, this ring lights up. It means it's connected to it, but we don't have to connect all those bits. I could put another cylindrical map on that part if I want by, yeah, I'll just close the editor window and I'll just bake in this lot again. I'll just right click and do collapse to, and it's kind of stored it now, so I better save my file, so I'll save that. And what I was talking about is to select, you know, this group here. Yeah, something like that, and then do what we did earlier. Do the UVW map. Do cylindrical. Don't have the cap on this time because I think that's what's showing these rings. I'll just do cylindrical and do fit, and then do collapse to, and that bakes that in. And now at the top level, I do my unwrap and edit. I can see that whole part's there now, and it looks pretty good. So I'll just select element, choose faces, and I should be able to select that whole part. And there it is, and it's all unwrapped for me. I could, if I want, take that, all those faces, and put them over there, just to save some space and to keep that as a square. So I better check my time. I've only got 1 minute left of this video, but there's not much left to do. There's the base, there's a few bits and bobs here and there, and there's a lot of little glitchy verts here and there, so I'll do another video and I'll show you how to tidy those up, show you how to properly do the handle and tidy everything up. So I'll be right back.